Nothing beats an HEV as a solution for practical mobility. You get the efficiency, you get the coding exemption, and of course, you get your own comfortable space. And that's what Chery is offering now. This is the new Chery Tiggo Cross HEV. And yes, it has a Chery Super Hybrid system. Hey everyone, Vince here from AutoIndustriya, and today we're gonna show you what's new from Chery. This is the Tiggo Cross HEV. Yes, it's a full-on hybrid. And later we're gonna show you all the new features, all the new bits and pieces on the outside, and all the new abilities of this new model from Chery. Now, the Tiggo Cross HEV is an evolution of the 5X Pro that I know a lot of customers here in the Philippines love, because it was very affordable and it put so many families and so many individuals on wheels to get to wherever they need to go, no problem. But now they're kicking it up a notch with this very major improvement. But while still being a BSUV, it does come packed with a lot of the features we've come to know and love from Chery. Let's take you around it now. So Chery really is stepping it up with their identity when it comes to the Tiggo Cross. I mean, you can see it with the front, the new Chery logo, the way they designed it. It's actually very classy and very subtle. The front, it has this starry eye look. Now, these aren't actually chrome. This is like satin silver, and it actually looks really good. The new LED headlights also look pretty sharp, as well as these vertical lights. They actually call this their Tiger-inspired design, but it does elevate the look of the car. The wheels, these are new design 17 inches with a 215/60/17 tires. And then you can see already the compact dimensions of the vehicle. It is quite compact. It's very easy to park, especially for someone who's still fairly learning the car, learning how to drive. This is going to be a great tool. And by the way, given that you do have a lot of cameras around, one in front, one here on the side, and another one on the back, it's going to give you that 360 view whenever you're parking. Has a satin trim there. They don't have much chrome here, which is kind of nice and unique. They're going for a younger customer here, and it really does show. Makes it look sportier. Even here on the A, B, C pillar, it's got this nice black accent there that makes it look, rather classy. Now, in the previous iteration of this, they had two taillights there, but now they've got this almost seamless unit going on here. Chery calls this the Tiger Stripe, and it does look cool. They have Chery spelled out there, and they have some nice details going on inside with the light bar. The back is also very cleanly designed with the spoiler and the third brake lamp, the rear wiper there, of course, defogger, standard. Tiggo Cross Hybrid over there, very neatly spelled out. And one thing I really like, it's a very clean lower bumper, no fake tailpipes. I always prefer that, especially on a vehicle like this. I mean, it just makes sense for a hybrid. Now, when we open the rear tailgate, it's gas assisted, and you have a nice, very firm parcel shelf over here. The length here is about 31 inches and also extends up to 55 when you fold down the rear seats. The floor, however, do note that there is a bit of a hump here, and the reason for that is because this is where the battery is. Makes access quite easy because they've got a new power unit in the front, and it does take up a bit more space when you do have a hybrid system. But still, plenty of storage here. You have trays there, you have your tool kit there, or at least your jack, early warning device, tow bar, tire wrench, all that stuff neatly tucked under here. But still, the space is very much usable, especially if you're going for a weekend away with your family and your friends. But what we're really curious about is when we look at what's under the hood. Because, unlike before, this is a full-on hybrid. So, when we pop the hood of the vehicle, what will we see? Well, being that it's a Chery, they do go for their very nice 1.5-liter gasoline engines. And this being a hybrid, it does have a DHT, or a dedicated hybrid transmission, meaning motor, transmission, all of it packed into one. That makes it very compact. And in terms of power, you have 204 PS or 150 kilowatts, depending on which one you prefer, driving the front wheels. It's gonna give you a range of up to 1,200 kilometers, and it's gonna make the driving experience quite fun because you do have a lot of torque at your disposal. That is the key behind Chery's super hybrid system. You don't have to charge it anymore. You don't have to worry about plugging it in. You just have to drive it and go and enjoy the efficiency and the coding exemption. Now let's show you all the new features inside. There really are big changes with the interior of the Tiggo Cross Hybrid. You can see it with the dashboard. They changed the entire design. You've got two 10.25-inch screens here, one for the driver and one as your center touchscreen infotainment unit there. We'll get to that in a bit. Soft touch, 4 AC vents, and it looks very continuous and very clean. You got the contrast stitching here. Controls here for the AVM. Yes, the AVM, more on that in a bit. The mode for the audio system, home button there so you don't have to go through the menus. Volume control, and then on-off for the audio. Your climate control system, dual zone climate control system is right here because you've got the sync button, meaning driver and passenger can set the temperature independently, and you've got rear vents here for the back so you're not left out. And by the way, speaking of the back seat, space is always a good thing with this vehicle, and you've got a center armrest there with two cup holders, and you've got a USB port there, so you may have to share a little bit, but there are plenty of USB charging points here because you've got one here below, the 12 volt here, the USB port, and then the USB-C port over there. But you also get a wireless charger right here, and it's very neat. I mean, it's got this very unique mesh design here that keeps your phone padded, and it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat trick. So speaking of connectivity, what you get here? You get the Bluetooth, you get the USB, but you also get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and both are wireless, meaning I can make full use of the wireless charging pad and still be able to connect to either CarPlay or Android Auto. How neat is that? That's what makes it so special, because you don't have to plug in anymore and worry about wiring. Just put your phone here, connect to that, and you're good to go. And the home button takes you out of that very easily. I find that very convenient. Now, in the center screen, what other features do we see? Well, we can look right here under vehicle settings. When we press that, we see how the hybrid system is working. It gives you the diagram from engine to motor to the battery and to the wheels. And as you drive, the display here changes depending on where the power is coming from or where the charge is going to. Either it's coming from the battery to the motor to the wheels, or coming from the engine to the motor to either the wheels and the battery, or sometimes just from the engine to the motor to the battery. It just depends on what's happening, and it's doing it all automatically. That's the beauty of the Chery Super Hybrid. It's not really anything to think about. You just drive it and go and let the car work itself out intelligently depending on the situation. Now onto the smart key. If we press that, you'll see the different features you can adjust. And by the way, this is the smart key of the Chery Tiggo Cross HEV. It's a very nice unit with metal, stainless polished metal on the side. It's got a good weight to it. And you have buttons for unlock, open the trunk, or lock, and you've got the remote start feature or remote on feature, because this is a hybrid. When you power on the vehicle, the engine doesn't come on automatically just yet. Now, lighting settings, normal stuff. You can adjust the headlight delay, the high beam, the smart high beam, because this one does come with a lot of smart driving assistance features. So what do we get? Go through the list here. Blind spot detection, front bump warning or forward collision warning, the sensitivity alert you can adjust, AEB, lane departure warning, all this stuff you can find here. Over speed alert, it'll even remind me if I'm fatigued. Hopefully I'll never have to use that. But you've got all these features already available here. And you've also got adaptive cruise control, which you control from this very nice steering wheel with the Chery logo, but it does have the adaptive cruise control buttons here on the left side. You can adjust the speed, the distance to the vehicle ahead, all these kinds of things you can adjust in your Tiggo Cross HEV. One thing we really appreciate here, especially for new drivers, is the AVM, the 360 camera system they have in this vehicle. And you can access it by either going through this screen and pressing that, or pressing the button right here. Now, when you do that, this screen pops up. Right now, this is the front view. You can also make it a wide front view, which is pretty good. And then you can make it a wide rear view. depending on what you prefer. And then when we go back to, let's say, the 3D model, we can spin around our view of the car, and we can even change some settings here. For example, you can change how it activates. Like, for example, when I steer, it will activate, like especially if you're maneuvering in traffic, it can be very useful. And you can also adjust the transparency of the vehicle, like right here. So if I want it more transparent, I can do that. I can even do it so that you can only see the wheels, depending really on what you want. So you can place your car with precision in a parking spot. What else do we appreciate here? Lots of storage, door pockets. We have cup holders here, which is where I put my glasses right now. We have storage here, which is also pretty good. The wireless tray there, the compartment there, the compartment underneath. Lots of storage for all kinds of stuff, but I know a lot of people will really like is having a sunroof. And this one, you can open, and it's perfect for your summer getaways, especially when you're out at the beach. Nothing like a little vitamin D. But the key thing to this vehicle is still the hybrid system and the battery pack. It has a lithium iron phosphate battery underneath, which uses a Chery Guardian battery system for maximum safety. Battery capacity is 1.83 kilowatt hours, and you charge it not by plugging in, but through regenerative braking or whenever you're on the road, and it does all of this automatically. For suspension, you've got McPherson independent suspension in front and a torsion beam over in the back. All brakes are disc brakes, and it comes equipped with an electronic parking brake. Now, speaking of safety, this is going to be one of the most reassuring ones you can find out there in the market today in its class. It achieved a 5-star ANCAP safety rating thanks to its use of many new technologies that make it smarter on the road, and also the 6 airbags and the high rigidity body structure. By the time you see this, Chery Philippines would have already launched the new Tiggo Cross HEV. And the price? Well, the introductory price for this one for a limited time is going to be 1,198,000 pesos. Yes, that's great value, but wait, there's more. You see, the great thing about Chery is the ownership experience. With Uwagi at the helm, they're offering you 5 years or 150,000 kilometers warranty coverage, bumper to bumper. And you got 3 years or 60,000 kilometers of free PMS, meaning you just show up at the dealership, you sign for something, and your car will be serviced no problem within that period. You've also got 3 years of free roadside assistance. So yes, nothing really beats a hybrid for everyday practicality. And if you book right now, you'll save more than just 50 pounds per person. This is Vince of Auto Industriya. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.